Hello and welcome to IsaanFlicks. As it's a rather wet day, it rained all day yesterday and all day last night. I've just looked out the window now and it's almost stopped raining. Nevertheless, I shall stay indoors today. And then I thought I might as well make a video. And I thought I would make a video about Thai culture and what I've experienced in my time in Thailand. You will notice many cultural differences while travelling around Thailand. The first being when Thais greet each other or when saying goodbye, they will make a wa gesture. The wa is also to show their respect or when apologising. The wa consists of a slight bow of the head with the palms pressed together in front of your face in a prayer-like fashion. This has its origins in India. However, to wa a Thai monk or nun, one should press your hands together and raise them to your nose, your head into your thumbs. However, when at a temple, dependent upon the occasion, it may be more appropriate to get on your knees and then wa. The best thing to do is follow what the Thais are doing, but to show even more respect, you could hold your hands even higher than usual and near to your forehead. But again, I advise to watch what other Thai people are doing. When being introduced or greeting someone, men say "Sawadi krap" and women say "Sawadi ka." Thais will also greet each other with a wa and a smile. However, foreigners are not expected to wa, but if being given a wa, it is sometimes best to return it. But a bow of the head is acceptable in most cases. If a wa is not offered, you could smile or even offer a handshake with men and a simple nod or bow of the head to women. Thai men and women generally do not hold hands in public, and kissing in public is seen as a bit strange and may be seen as being offensive. The casual touch is acceptable, but kissing and hugging in public is frowned upon. Now, families almost always come first in Thailand, with a much greater emphasis placed on the extended family than in Western countries and cultures. My wife told me before we got married that if I married her, I married a family as well. So that about sums it up. However, what I did find strange at first was the number of siblings my wife had, until I realised they were in fact cousins, as Thais do not have a word for cousin. And then sometimes I was introduced to women as my wife's second or third mother. That was strange, until I realised the other mothers turned out to be aunts, a real mother's sisters or cousins, as it was more normal back then for extended families to live close to each other and more likely in the same rural village as my wife did. And it is still the same today in most of Thailand, with grandparents, aunts, uncles taking care or raising siblings, children, while their parents are working away. These are typical roles for extended families as it is considered everyday life. Younger members of the family are also expected to take care of the older members, and this can be done financially or by doing a range of daily chores, housekeeping, washing clothes, cooking, or even maintaining the family property. Now, Thai culture and status. It may not be immediately apparent, but status is a huge thing in Thai culture. Age, family connections, job types, education and income levels are all contributing factors to a person's perceived status in society. Then status is not fixed, as a Thai can gain or lose status if their circumstances change. Thais perform different versions of the wa depending upon the person's status, and there are social rules concerning who should offer the first wa. Another thing, when talking with each other, Thais have words which indicate a person's age, using P before an older person's name to show respect, and Nong for somebody younger than them. However, things aren't always quite that simple, because a younger person may be referred to as P if they have a higher status, for example through marriage or by way of their profession. These small social rules are easy to miss by foreigners, but are tightly woven into the fabric of Thai culture. The use of language and the wa are just a couple of ways for Thais to show respect. And talking about respect, it is considered bad form and disrespectful to visit somebody's home without taking a gift. It could be food, fruit or whatever, as what it is doesn't really matter. The concept of face is very important in Thailand, perhaps more so than in many Western countries. Not removing shoes before entering someone's home is also a big sign of disrespect. Disrespecting someone in a variety of ways can cause a person to lose face, that is, to be embarrassed or shamed publicly. Yelling at someone in public is another way of causing that person to lose face. Then there can be strong repercussions for causing loss of face, a lack of respect or bringing shame on a family, with violence an extreme example of what can happen. It is not uncommon for Thai people, particularly in rural areas, to deal with perceived injustices according to their social norms, with individuals, families or communities dishing out punishments as they see fit. So there you go. Then we have national pride, which is part of the Thai psyche. The country clings to the pride that it is the only nation in Southeast Asia not to have been colonized by European countries. The national anthem is played twice a day with the expectation that people will stop and stand until the song is finished. The national flag is flown at all government and educational facilities and other such like buildings, which are raised with the national anthem each morning and lowered again in the evening. But you will see the Thai flag just about anywhere. The King's anthem is played before movies start in cinemas. Many Thais profess an enduring love for their country, extending to religion and the monarchy. And while foreigners are generally welcome in Thailand, they will always be on the fringes. Furthermore, Thais rarely display strong negative emotions, bouts of anger, tantrums and public crying, but I'm not saying that it doesn't happen, as it does. This doesn't mean they aren't displayed in private or that the emotions aren't there, simply that a person does not want to lose face by showing their feelings in public. Thais are often seen as being laid back because of this. A common phrase that you may hear many times each day is "mai pen rai," which translates loosely as "no worries," or more popular, "no problem." Foreigners sometimes take this as a meaning that Thais don't actually get upset, take offence or take things too seriously, as they often do care, but have been conditioned to respond in such a way. As most people know, Thailand is known as being the land of smiles. However, smiles don't always show happiness and are sometimes used as a mask. This is not to diminish from the fact that many Thai people are in fact kind, welcoming, hospitable, but sometimes that smile might not be quite what you think it is. And then of course, yes might mean no. On the rare occasion a Thai person says no outright, it means a firm no. However, maybe it is a face-saving option, which probably means no, but may mean yes. But yes, however, doesn't always mean yes. Confused? Well, you get used to it. Thai people don't like letting others down and will sometimes agree to things even if they don't want to or have no intention to actually follow through on what they have said. Their plans are often fluid. It is quite rare for a Thai person to say they don't know something, for example, when giving directions. Rather, you may sometimes be told what a person thinks will make you happy at that particular point in time to save disappointing you or being unable to help. So, be warned. Now, as you know, the predominant religion in Thailand is Buddhism, of course. The religion practiced in Thailand is somewhat unique to other Buddhist nations, having been infused with many outside elements such as Hinduism and Chinese practices and traditions. Chinese beliefs have influenced local beliefs to an extent, with animistic beliefs playing a large role in making Thai Buddhism what it is today. You will see many Thai people wearing amulets or carrying talismans despite Buddhism prohibiting attachment to material objects. Then there's the belief in ghosts and spirits, which is very strong in Thailand, stemming from traditional pre-Buddhism beliefs, and you will see spirit shrines in all manner of places. Then superstitions. They are rife and often connected to the belief of ghosts and spirits. It is normal for some people to consult a fortune teller or a monk for an auspicious date before arranging a wedding, buying or start building a home, buying a car, and various other situations. Then they have, blessing a new motorcycle, a car, and the list goes on. There is tradition of giving newborn babies a nickname originated from a desire to trick wicked or nasty spirits who may want to steal the baby away. Then traditionally, Thai people avoid complimenting parents on their new baby, fearing making the child seem too desirable for the wicked spirits. There are numerous superstitions related to spirits housed inside the body of dolls, and then there's not cutting children's hair if they're as sick as a baby, and the list goes on, and perhaps I should share some more of these in another video. Now, you will see many monks during your time in Thailand, both inside the temples and out on the streets, on buses, at festivals, and in a variety of everyday settings. Now, monks are highly revered and respected in Thai culture, and disrespecting a monk could land you in real trouble. Even more, there are designated seats on public transport for monks, for example, and people should always give up their seat to a monk if no other seat is available. Now, females especially should be careful of their actions around monks. As well as not touching a monk or directly handing them things, females should put any offerings on the monk's dish or bowl rather than into their hands. Furthermore, women shouldn't sit next to a monk or their belongings. However, if you do act inappropriately around a monk, you can be sure regular Thai people will quickly point out your errors with disapproval. For Thais, they place importance and significance to different parts of the body. The head is seen as the most spiritual part of the body, and you should never touch a person's head. Although most people don't go around touching strangers' heads in any case. But this goes for children too. An affectionate ruffling of the hair could cause offence to some Thai parents. Thais, as I mentioned earlier, are not overly touchy-feely in general. It's not very common to see Thais holding hands, hugging, kissing or otherwise touching in public. When out and about, it's preferable to walk around two people rather than cut in between them. However, if you must pass between two people, you should stoop slightly so your head is lower than theirs. It's also polite for Thais to stoop slightly when walking past someone they know has a higher social status than them. Now, feet are seen as dirty and symbolically low. You should never touch somebody with your foot. Sit with the sole of your foot pointing upwards, or point your foot at a person, and God forbid at a Buddha image. Even crossing your legs can cause some people to inwardly wince. This means no holding doors open with your feet, pushing your bag along with your feet, or otherwise using your feet in place of your hands. And whatever you do, do not stand on Thai banknotes. There are many times when you should take off your shoes too, as I mentioned earlier, for entering temples, people's homes, and again I would advise looking to see what the Thais do. Furthermore, never step over vendors' food baskets on the sidewalks or in marketplaces, as the sole of your foot is the most dirtiest part of your body. Now, pointing with a finger is often seen as impolite, as beckoning someone with a crooked finger. Thais will often use their lips to point, pushing out the lips to indicate the direction. Alternatively, use the whole hand with the fingers outstretched to beckon somebody. The palm should be face down, with all the fingers extended and the action from the wrist. Thais are generally very tolerant and understand foreign visitors will sometimes make social mistakes, as long as it's not something major, like showing respect to their religion or monarchy, or walking around semi-naked. Many Thais will overlook your cultural differences. Furthermore, you should be aware that driving a car without a shirt on is an offence that can be punished by a fine in Thailand. But we can talk about that in another video. So the moral to this video is, be polite and respectful, and you have a great time in Thailand. That is about all for now on some of what I know and have experienced firsthand with Thai cultural traditions. And if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, or if you have to, a thumbs down. Share or make comments, but better still, subscribe to the channel to ensure you do not miss out on other videos. So, until my next one, please take care. Bye bye for now.